I'm glad you've done a longer ahoy this week.
It was a bit weird last week.
And also, I don't know if this is really geeky, but I was in the theme tune in the middle of your ahoy.
Yeah.
And I couldn't, it was really difficult to line it up because you only did a really short one.
Trying to keep you on your toes.
Welcome to The Wave. My name is Adam.
My name is Nick. It's the weekly news and chat show from the world famous Bottom of the Stream podcast.
It is indeed. How are you, Nick?
I'm very good.
Good? Bit tired?
Bit tired?
We're recording in the middle of the night?
Yeah. It's literally 9:30 on a Saturday morning.
Exactly.
Been up for hours.
I would not be out of bed for another hour yet, normally. It brought me a McDonald's, though, to
Yeah, I bought you breakfast.
entice me. Thank you for that. It was really nice.
No problem. Yeah, I'm good. I'm excited to wrap up season 7 of Bottom of the Stream
finale
this week.
Season finale week.
Yeah.
It's like the big deal.
Also, it's Halloween special.
Also, it's Halloween special. It's Halloween today. The
Yeah.
day this episode comes out.
Yeah.
Got any spooky plans?
No, it's a Monday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not especially.
No?
I will have tonight, but in the past, as you listen to this, having a bit of a spooky Saturday night
What are you doing?
with some sort of like Halloween treats and themed
Nice.
dinners and stuff like that.
Sounds
Just
fun.
with the fam.
You going trick-or-treating?
Do you know what? I've only ever been trick-or-treating once in my life.
I've never been.
And that was like when my kids were a bit younger.
Really?
Yeah.
They're not
that's
going
the
anymore.
only
They're
time.
not into it now.
It's pretty quiet around where we
Yeah.
live. There's not.
There's not a lot of it going on.
No. I think I've been in this house for like 10 years. I think we've had one trick-or-treater, and that was the neighbours.
I never get them either, to be fair.
So
I've always wanted to spend a Halloween in America, in like suburban America, you know, like you see it in the movies.
yeah, where
There's, like,
everyone's
kids running
probably
around the
out
street.
and
I think that'd be great just
Yeah.
to experience that. I don't know if it's real or if it's just a
I-
movie thing that happens.
because I think Halloween's still on the uptick here.
Yeah. It seems to get bigger every year, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
I remember my parents back in the day when I was a youngster, and we were like, "Oh, it's Halloween. Can we do something?" Oh, it's not a.
It's not a thing.
It's an American thing.
Yeah.
It's not
It isn't really a thing, but I remember this year though, I was in.
I like it. I like Halloween.
I don't mind it. I remember I was in TK Maxx in August and they'd got Halloween stuff out.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's really early. It's like when Christmas comes. Well, Christmas will come on Tuesday and at every shop, won't it?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
100%.
we're coming up to Christmas. It's going to be about midway through season 8 for. No, early season 8 for
Yeah.
Christmas. I have to do a Christmas special.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
find a Christmas film.
I love our random Christmas film.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you seen the trailer for Violent Night?
No, not yet.
That's You should watch that
Yeah, I
trailer.
will do.
It's going to be really good. It's David Harbour plays an badass Santa
It
Claus.
does, yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been sent it.
The fuck has that magpie got in its beak? Sorry. It's got like half a
Oh yeah,
Slice
it's got like
of
a slice of toast.
nicked someone's breakfast.
Just
Sorry,
balanced it on
that's
my
very
fence.
visual.
Balanced it on my fence post. And
It's like the big size of his body.
when we record in the day, we can see out of the window. When we record at night, it's dark.
Right,
That's
anyway,
huge.
sorry.
What was I saying?
Violent Night.
Oh yeah, I've been sent that trailer so many times.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got a reputation for liking weird movies.
Yeah, well, it does very much strike me as being up your street. So.
Yeah, I've been sent it by pretty much everybody I know. Have you seen this? Yes, 100 times. It seems like it'd be a cinema trip at the festive period,
Yeah.
maybe.
How about you? You had a good week?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I've not really done anything this week.
That's fine.
But I've not been to the cinema. No, I've had a bit of a quiet one this week. Not really done anything to report.
You're allowed.
Yeah. Thanks.
Are we talking about, as this is the last episode of season 7 of Bottom of the Stream?
Yeah.
What we're doing
Yeah. Talk
for getting season 8 going?
Post-season.
Because sometimes we have a week off between seasons.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Straight in next week.
Straight in.
Boom.
Because we feel like we've had a lot of time off lately.
Yeah,
And we've got-
people keep getting on holiday.
Somebody's been on holiday 3 times in 2 months. So we don't feel like we need another break
No.
now. So
We're gunning. We're gunning on all cylinders.
this Thursday we'll finish season 7
Yeah.
with Rainbow Time. That's the Halloween special comedy film that we're doing.
The traditional creepy family drama comedy movie.
That's the one. Then next week we'll do a wave, and the wave will be a bit longer, I would imagine, next week because we're going to recap season 7 at the same
we'll do a
time
bit of a recap.
in the same episode, and then we'll go straight in with the first film of season 8.
We will.
Aren't you people lucky?
Yes, listen to them all shout.
The first film of season 8 will be the 176th film that we've done.
On the road to 200, not
Going
out.
up for 200. How crazy is that?
Amazing.
People tell me there's nothing on Netflix.
There's loads. Look,
Loads of shit.
Well, yeah, of course. We were saying the other night, they do up their game around Halloween.
Yeah, they really do.
Because
if you're into like horror films and stuff.
Yeah, and TV shows. There's been, just last night I was watching the trailer for, because Wendell and Wild has dropped the new Henry Selick.
Oh, is it?
Stop motion.
Oh, that might be
movie.
tonight.
So, we were also thinking possibly that. So, there's the Midnight Club, the Cabinet of Curiosities, and that Mr. Harrigan's fame. All these, they really do up their game. They release a lot of content.
Yeah, they do.
Around, Halloween.
This time of year as well, because they'll feed straight into Christmas movies from
yeah.
here. There'll be loads of them coming.
So, it's Lindsay Lohan's big comeback. She's got a Christmas movie coming.
Oh, really?
Netflix. Yeah.
Nice. Good for her.
There you go.
Can't wait for that. Right, shall we get into some Netflix news?
Yeah, let's do it.
First bit of news of the week.
This might be one you can take us through, and it is the fact that Netflix have joined Discord.
They have.
We use Discord.
We do use Discord.
We've got a thriving Discord community.
We have.
You can find the link to our server in the episode notes.
You can.
Come and join us. It's a great place to chat movies, meet some nice people, talk about anything you want. Well, Netflix, what have they done, Ad?
They've launched their first ever official Discord bot.
Yeah.
So Discord's quite a big app that people don't really understand how big it can get. There's loads of different bots you can do that will help you. Like we used to record the episodes during lockdown.
Yes,
with
we did.
The Craig bot, I think
Yeah.
it was called.
Yeah.
He was shit and
He was
worked.
very unreliable.
So Netflix have released one of these bots, and basically it just helps you pick a film to watch.
Yeah,
as a community.
Because everyone was originally thinking, oh, great, a Netflix bot. It will let you stream in your Discord room.
Yeah, which is what Discord's for, really.
Yeah.
It was built originally for streaming games and that sort of thing. But no, that's not what it is.
No.
Because I added the bot to our server. And you can now, in our server, if anybody's listening who is in the server, hopefully they all are, you can do /hey Netflix.
Yeah.
And Netflix will come up. It will reply to you.
Yeah.
And it will say, what do you want to watch? Would you like to watch a film or a TV show?
Yeah.
And it gives you 10 seconds, and everybody in the community can vote on what they want, a film or a TV show. And then if you eventually pick film, it will give you a choice of 4 films that you want to watch. You pick one of the films, then it opens a new channel in the Discord community to talk about that film.
Yes.
So
and,
really...
And just a link to Netflix's website.
Yeah, so you can watch the film.
Yeah.
So really, it's pretty pointless.
But you've got to have your own...
You've got to have your own
account.
Discord server.
And your own... Everyone's got to have their own Netflix account.
Everyone, and watch it
because you
individually.
can't share.
You can't share screen watching it through this Discord bot. There is ways to do it. Yeah, so it basically just picks a film and it opens a channel so you can talk about it. So it doesn't do anything that I couldn't do myself.
No,
I could open a channel in there.
It's really superficial.
Yeah, it is. It's just an advertising ploy thing.
Yeah.
It's just a way for more people to talk about Netflix.
Is it going to be listening in? So if we're talking about a movie, the bot will suddenly go, you can watch, whatever that movie is on Intrusion on on Netflix.
Yeah, maybe. That's random. But Intrusion is one of the films in the screenshot on the screen in front of us. That's one of our films. But that's strange.
Yeah.
Talking of listening in, I've learned something this week.
Okay.
Completely off topic, completely. You know the capture things on websites when it's like, I am not a robot, and you have to tick the box?
Yes.
Do you know what that's actually doing?
The one that's like checking if you're not a robot?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you tick that box, what you're actually doing is giving the robot permission to check all of your browsing history.
Oh, really?
To see if you are a robot. To see if you are actually browsing proper websites and what you are doing on the internet. So it's actually really... It's data.
Invasive.
Yeah. It's really bad. Because you're giving this website... But that tick is giving them permission to look at what you've been looking at before you've gone to their website.
Wow.
That's all it's doing.
Fucking Big Brother, man.
I know, man. I was like, I'm not going to tick that box anymore, but then I can't go on any website, so you have no choice.
Why are so many websites so bad as well?
Oh, websites are terrible now.
Are literally, there's loads that I go on and you think, oh, I'm going to read this news story. That is of interest to me.
Yeah.
I would like to read the rest of that story. You click on it, and then the website is literally unusable because of it's either answer this question to continue reading,
Yeah.
or it's just so full of adverts.
Yeah, and then the cookie pop-ups come up, and you
Yeah.
have to accept that on every single
And
website
you're
you
just
go
like,
on.
I can't read this. I'm not reading this. I'm not using your website.
The internet feels like it's been abandoned and it's just social media's taken over. Because websites are terrible these days.
It's a bit of a Wild West.
It is.
Talking of the Wild West, sort of. Well, not at all. But Christian Bale wears a nice hat. The first trailer has arrived for the upcoming Netflix horror movie, The Pale Blue Eye. We've mentioned this before a couple of times, that it was in production. You can now go and check out the trailer ahead of its release in January. It's directed by Scott Cooper, who directed Antlers, and is adapted from a 2003 novel which fictionalizes the origins of Edgar Allan Poe. Christian Bale, Gillian Anderson, Lucy Boynton, Hadley Robinson, Timothy Spall, and Robert Duvall.
I was really excited for that until you said Timothy Spall.
Did Robert Duvall bring it back a little
bit, yeah.
Are all on board. The synopsis: 1830 at West Point, the early hours of a grey winter morning, a cadet is found dead. After the body arrives at the morgue, tragedy becomes savagery when it is discovered that a young man's heart has been skillfully removed.
Ooh.
Fearing irreparable damage to the military academy, its leaders turn to a local detective, Augustus Lander, to solve the murder. Lander enlists the help of one of the cadets to pursue the case. An eccentric young man with a disdain for the rigours of military and a penchant for poetry. This is Edgar Allan Poe.
Interesting.
I'm very excited by this. I love a gothic horror atmospheric. Yeah. So I'm on board. It has a limited cinema release on December the 23rd and hits Netflix on January the 6th.
Nice start to the new year. I think that'd be really good. That's a good name as well. I really like that title.
The Pale Blue Eye.
Yeah. Describes me.
Yes.
Next.
Netflix has acquired a series, rescued it indeed from extinction, I guess. Netflix has repeated the trick, I suppose, it used for Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Bringing that on board after a couple of seasons. And that is they have bought Tina Fey's comedy series, Girls 5 Ever, from Peacock. They will set up and produce a new season while also taking the rights to the existing episodes. I've not seen this show.
I haven't seen it either.
But I like Tina Fey's stuff.
Yeah,
and apparently
me too.
This is very in the vein of 30 Rock and Kimmy Schmidt, which I like both of.
Two of my favourite shows.
And follows a one-hit wonder girl group from the 90s who reunite to give their pop star dreams one more shot. They now have to balance spouses, kids, jobs and debt. But can they still be a girl band? That sounds alright, actually.
Yeah, I might check that out. It's just
might check that out when it
fun.
arrives on Netflix. Keep no word yet on when the
I always find it
episodes will arrive.
really interesting when a show gets brought back from the dead, because it's like you must have to get everybody back into contract. Everybody's moved on a little bit. Everybody's like,
because it makes you wonder: is there something in the small print that
if we get brought back, you have to come back?
Yeah,
sort of thing.
You've signed on for 8 series and we've only done 4. Or, who knows?
I find it really fascinating because sometimes it happens like years later.
Yeah,
like, how have you managed to get everybody back?
The legalities behind something like that must be. Well, Netflix can afford good lawyers. So.
Well, yeah, true. I imagine you can just demand whatever money you want from it as well.
Probably,
if you're like the main star of that show,
yeah,
you can just say, "Well, yeah, I'll come back, but you need to triple my wages."
Yeah, exactly. You're in a strong position.
Yeah,
aren't you?
definitely,
for sure. Someone who's going to be very busy in the next few months and years is Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman's always busy.
He is always busy, but he is very much pinning his flag to the Netflix mast.
Well, they have looked after him, I suppose, over the last few years.
Sure. If you remember again, a few weeks ago, we said that he dropped out of a movie called Artemis, which was like a space movie he was going to direct and also be in.
Yeah.
And since that's not happening, he's signed up for several projects with Netflix, one of which will be a new limited series in which he will star with Jude Law.
Oh, wow.
Coming back to TV. It's called Black Rabbit, and Bateman's also going to direct it.
Okay.
And both of them will be executive producers, so they're really being given the creative keys to this show. There are no plot details to it yet, other than it has been announced that it is based on an original idea and written by the guys who wrote King Richard.
Oh, yeah.
Which was the movie that Will Smith won his Oscar for, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Wait, the Williams sisters, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Their biopic.
But Bateman's also signed up to work with Netflix on a movie called Dark Wire.
Okay.
He's directing that as well.
Wow.
A thriller that focuses on the FBI's operation to pose as fake telecom company and become the phone service provider to some of the world's deadliest gangs.
That's an interesting synopsis.
And then he's also got in the pipeline, I think we've mentioned this before as well, another thriller with Netflix called Carry On with Taron Egerton.
Okay.
Which follows a young TSA agent who gets blackmailed by a mysterious traveller to let a dangerous package slip through security and onto a Christmas Day flight.
Christmas movie.
Yeah, of sorts, I guess.
Nice. Right, that sounds like it.
So he's going to be a busy man. I don't know what order he's doing those three things in for Netflix.
One on a Monday, one on a Tuesday, one on a Wednesday.
Maybe concurrently.
You can't call a movie Carry On and not expect it to be...
I know. That can't be called that over here, surely.
I wouldn't have thought so.
It's going to have to be one of these movies with a couple of titles.
Yeah, I think so. Cool. That sounds good. Gotta get used to seeing Jason Bateman's face around.
Yeah, really, really do. Rarity for this show. Got some book news.
Book news?
There is a Netflix link.
Okay.
Alice Osman.
Yep.
Is the author behind the graphic novel Heartstopper.
Yes.
Which clearly was a huge hit for Netflix earlier this year. I hadn't realised actually until reading up about this story that the graphic novel Heartstopper it was only out relatively recently.
Yeah, it is.
It's also this year.
Yeah.
Or in the last 12 months. Because the graphic novel has made some history. It's the first ever graphic novel to be included on the Waterstones Book of the Year shortlist.
Wow, okay.
There are 10 different books up for the title. And yeah, his is the first ever graphic novel. We'll find out later this year if it will win or not. She said, Waterstones has been a huge advocate of Heartstopper since the very beginning. They've created stunning displays and they've been a great partner. I feel honoured to have received the shortlist.
I've seen on Instagram.
What happens
on Instagram a few weeks ago. One of the Waterstone stores in London had completely recreated Charlie's bedroom set.
Oh, brilliant!
From the show, and you could have your picture taken in there while you buy them because there's a new book just come out.
Yeah, it's volume 1 that's up for the award.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. I've been trying to get hold of it, but it's actually quite expensive. But
graphic novels always are.
Yeah, they are.
Which is fine. They should be.
I might add it to my Christmas list because a lot of work goes into them sort of things. And Heartstopper it's definitely my show of the year on Netflix. I don't think anything's even come close to being as good as Heartstopper was. Next.
Next is some comedy news.
Okay.
Ramesh Ranganathan.
Yes, very funny man.
Is releasing his first ever Netflix stand-up special.
Okay, cool.
But you are getting a twofer.
A twofer?
2 for 1, because to accompany the stand-up special is a documentary.
Okay.
About the making of the stand-up special. Which I think is the same approach. I think was it Russell Howard did one earlier this year on Netflix. And that was the same. You got the actual stand-up show and the sort of making up the behind the scenes. Ranganathan recorded his special, which is called The Cynics Mixtape, over 3 performances at his hometown in Crawley. It's, as I say, a 2-part Netflix release, the stand-up and then the documentary. It's his first Netflix release, which kind of surprised me.
That does surprise me.
I thought he's quite a big name over here.
He is.
And consider some of the people that seem to have comedy specials. And then it made me think. I feel like we haven't had as many like stand-up comedy specials coming through. And then I later found out after reading a bit more that it's the first British stand-up comedy special released on Netflix since May.
Wow. Really?
Which, yeah, the last one was Ricky Gervais's Supernature back in May.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Then I was thinking, we are still sort of, there was that whole pandemic thing, wasn't
Yeah,
there?
true.
But it didn't stop Bo Burnham.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
No, that'd be good. I like Ramesh Ranganathan. He's really good. Have you ever listened to his podcast with Tom Davis?
Yes, I've listened to a few.
I really like that.
Yeah.
I think they're really funny together.
Tom Davis is a very funny man.
He is a very funny man. Cool. Next.
I once made a cocktail in tribute to Ramesh Ranganathan.
You did, yeah.
We did our Taskmaster
We
night.
did a themed Taskmaster
Was
party.
The Ramesh Ranganathan.
You did, I remember that. It was horrible.
It was horrible. Mate. Absolutely vile. Okay, another big star coming to Netflix
Okay.
in December. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, sweet.
Not the recent movies. This is a new animated series.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Sonic Prime
Sonic Prime.
arrives.
That should surely be on Amazon Prime.
You would think that is not the best sort of commercial link up, is it? But yeah, Sonic Prime arrives on Netflix. 24 episodes arrive.
Wow.
On December the 15th.
Cool.
If you're into that sort of thing. Netflix says Sonic Prime delivers the Sonic you know and love, but with a multi-dimensional twist.
Everything's got a multi-dimensional twist these days.
Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Rose, Shadow, Rouge the Bat, and Big the Cat are all here, but thanks to the malicious meddling of Dr. Eggman, Sonic Prime is taking Sega's sassy hedgehog to some dark places.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Over 24 episodes.
I always think when they named Big the Cat, they must have been like so bored. It was like, we need a name for this big cat. Let's just call it Big the Cat.
Yeah. Oh, look. Yeah, does what it says on the tin.
It does, indeed. Cool, that'd be
Sonic's
good.
had quite the comeback the last few years,
really
hasn't
has.
he?
But there's no games.
No.
He's had loads of movies, loads of TV shows. There's about 4 different Sonic TV shows out there.
Yeah.
But nobody's thought, let's make a new Sonic game.
Toys, action figures, obviously related to those shows and stuff. But yeah, no one's making a game.
Well, it doesn't seem like it. I haven't
Interesting.
seen a new, you get the occasional, racing game or football game or something, but you never really get a proper Sonic game.
Yeah.
It feels like it's lined up ready for somebody to do.
Is that format just gone?
Platform games.
Yeah, that sort of side-scrolling Sonic.
Yeah, probably.
What
It shouldn't be.
What can a new Sonic game give you? Does it need
You could do it in a
breaking
different...
and rebuilding?
Yeah,
a
it
bit?
does. You could do it in a different way, though,
Yeah.
can't you? You can do an RPG or
Sure,
something. Or
sure. Because it has really built
an open world
over
Sonic
the years
game would be
a
great.
wider cast of characters
Yeah,
as
it
well.
has.
So,
Big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
okay.
Cool.
I really don't want to spend much time on this
No,
news
nor
story,
me, 'cause
but I felt that we had to reference it.
It really winds me up. It comes up every year.
But it's actually happened now. So
Yeah.
Netflix has released a trailer for season 5 of The Crown,
Yeah.
which arrives in November, and they have. I'm going to say it. Basically, sounds like they've been bullied.
Yes.
Poor little Netflix into adding a disclaimer on the bottom of the trailer and all the marketing, basically saying that the show is a fictional dramatization inspired by real life events.
This show's 5 seasons in now.
People aren't stupid, right?
No.
People know this,
Yeah.
but the royal family is so fucking protected.
Yeah. I don't even think it's the royal family this time. It was John. It was John Major, I think, wasn't it?
John Major, Judi Dench.
What's Judi Dench got to do
People
with
who have got knighthoods,
it? Yeah.
who want to protect their image. Oh, how can Judi Dench come out and say
Yeah.
We need to add this. When she has played various royal figures from the past.
Yeah, exactly.
In exactly this situation. Just because we're talking about a show with people who are still about.
Yeah. It's like
I just think it's absolute madness.
Everybody who watches The Crown knows that this isn't a true drama documentary.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Honestly,
it really wound me up when I saw it.
Grinds my gears, this one.
John Major's just annoyed because he's in it, and the guy who's in it playing him looks better than he does.
Yeah. He's in self-protection mode, but Judi Dench, my word, just fucking stay out of it.
It's made me think I'm just going to watch it.
Out of spite.
Just out of spite.
I'm going to watch it. I'll just leave it on.
Yeah.
To get the hours up.
To be fair, I'm probably more interested in this season because it's a period of history that I know now. We've got to that point where I'm like, I remember this sort of thing happening.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested in watching, not because I think it's real, but because I'm like, I know the events and what's going to happen.
Yeah. What about
They've also had to make a statement this week that they're not going to show Princess Diana's death, which I think is pretty obvious they were never going to do.
Yeah. There's no difference between this and something like Inventing Anna.
Nope.
Except that this is about royals.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And they get all this special.
It really winds me up. It really winds me up.
I don't want to say anymore. It's an absolute non-story. It's just.
There's been loads of movies about the Queen and different members of the royal family. The Queen was a movie.
Yeah.
That didn't have to have a disclaimer on. People knew it wasn't real. People are not stupid.
It is. Judi Dench annoyed me because it felt like she's really shitting where she eats.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's an image for you. Right.
Next. Ooh, what's happened to that football pitch?
Netflix obviously not afraid of a bit of controversy at the minute because they have announced this week something which seems to have been in the works a bit on the quiet actually. That because the trailer came out this week for FIFA Uncovered.
Yeah, I saw that. I haven't seen the trailer, but I saw that. It's
nothing to do with the video game. This is Netflix's newest documentary, basically about how fucking corrupt FIFA is and the story behind the upcoming Qatar World Cup.
I really hope they've gone all in on this.
I do too, because there is some skeletons here.
Yeah, people know that FIFA's corrupt, and for people to know it, it must be a lot more corrupt than people think it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really hope they've gone.
And Netflix has no skin in the game.
No,
they don't
not
do
at
any
all.
live sport.
No.
So just it's not like someone like the BBC couldn't do this.
No, or even Amazon now.
Yeah, because they want to show the World Cup.
Yeah,
and they just get cut off. Netflix says, for decades, FIFA united the globe through football, but behind the game, craftier schemes were at play. This documentary series traces the organisation's legacy, exploring the pageantry, power struggles, and politics of hosting the World Cup. It's been released 11 days before the start of the tournament.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm really interested to see.
I have no interest in watching this tournament. But it's going to be an interesting thing to see how many people actually promote it, what's happening, and what sort of who's out there and who isn't out there.
I'm also really interested to see if any participants put their head above the parapet.
Yeah.
So this week you can go and find. I saw it on Twitter, but the Australian football team released a video. It's about 3 minutes long. And it's just loads of talking heads of various players, basically saying we're going to play at this World Cup. We're aware of the issues. We stand up for human rights.
Yep.
We don't believe in the appalling conditions that have helped create these stadiums. They also talk about obviously LGBTQ rights because that's an issue in Qatar. And they're the first sort of group of players / federation.
Yeah,
who have sort of publicly gone, look, we're going to play, but we're aware of the concerns, and
that's good. That's what every team in it should be doing.
Yeah, 100%.
Denmark, I think, they're playing in plain red t-shirts.
Yeah,
they're not having any sort of badge or anything on their shirt, which I find that's quite good.
And it's tricky because what can you do? You know, imagine being in that situation if you were, lucky enough to be a famous and skillful footballer. You how do you not go?
There's nothing you can do because of the corruption of FIFA. You can't just go, we're not coming, because you just get banned from every tournament ever for the rest of history. So you've got to go and play it. But if you can make a stand and say why you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
100%. I think Harry Kane said he's going to wear his rainbow captain's armband, which he's been told he's not allowed to wear.
Oh, really? Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
disgusting.
he apparently is going to wear it. So
Yeah, so
I'm
I
sure
think
lots of news stories are going to come out of that World Cup.
once that documentary hits, I think I'll watch that
100%.
and report back.
I'll watch that instead of watching the games.
Yeah. Okay,
Keep going.
I think
We're
that's
on a roll. We're on a news roll.
I think that's pretty much it for Netflix news.
Okay.
A couple of big other stories.
This is a big other story.
Probably the biggest story of the week, I think,
Yeah.
is that James Gunn, who was obviously just wrapped Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3.
Yeah.
And also the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Yes.
Which will be on Disney Plus in a few weeks. And then I think Guardians 3 is February or March
sometime
next
around
year.
there. Yeah.
Well, once he's done with all that sort of promotion, he's not going back to Marvel because James Gunn has nailed the job of co-CEO of DC Studios.
Yeah. Big deal.
Along with his producing partner Peter Safran. That's it. They're going to call the shots for all Warner Brothers DC-based films and television.
It's basically Kevin Feige for DC.
Yeah, both live action and animated. So they've got the keys to the castle, these two.
It's what DC has needed for years. It's what they should have done this a long time ago.
Yeah.
Just to keep everything in line and stop all these different universes.
It's a lot to bring back under control.
Yeah, it really is. It's not an easy task.
Henry Cavill's come out this week and confirmed he will be back as Superman.
Yeah. But then these two are going to come in.
Not saying in what project, but that he's not.
What's to say these two are going to stop that though? If these two come in, they can go.
Yeah.
No.
Well, presumably he's signed something.
Well, yeah, presumably he has.
But there's.
If these two come in and just go right, we're going to completely flatten the universe, rebuild it from scratch.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
What a job!
The one thing they need to do is step away from Superman. There's loads of good DC characters out there, and Superman isn't one of them. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Hopefully, they'll get things under control.
And it's like some of the decisions, like do they weave in, like you say, to what we've seen in the last few years, or because it almost feels like it wouldn't be a bad thing for them not to have anything for a year or 18 months or 2 years.
Let them get it under control.
Yeah.
And start again.
But who knows what their plan is. But yeah, what a job. There's
quite a lot of DC projects in the can. Because I know Blue Beetle's finished filming. That was finished. That Batgirl film's still out there somewhere. There's other stuff.
Maybe that will see the light of day.
You don't know, do you?
That's the first thing I'd do if I was James Gunn.
Just bring it out.
No, just, all right, I want to watch it, please.
Yes. Yeah, let me see it. Let me see how bad it actually was. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting time at the DC universe.
I mean, I like James Gunn's stuff. He has a very distinct style.
Yes, he does.
So as long as every DC film is now not going to be a snarky, tongue-in-cheek movie.
There is that.
But look, one of the things Marvel has done well, for some of their faults, is within the Marvel universe, here's your Marvel horror film, here's your drama, here's your
comedy.
Yeah, you can do that within that playbook.
Yeah,
and that's the right approach.
Yeah, I think it is in this day and age. I think it is the right approach.
And obviously, he's been heavily involved in that universe. So then to come over to DC is really interesting.
And some of the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff's the best stuff that Marvel has done. So it's in safe hands, I think. Or safer hands than it has been.
Good. Final piece of news for the week.
Yep.
Andrew Stanton, director of such absolute classics as Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
WALL-E.
Wow. Great films.
And John Carter from Mars.
That wasn't all that bad.
I quite liked it.
It was.
It was certainly not. I can see why it didn't hit the mainstream.
Yeah.
But and I know it was a massive flop, but it's all right.
Do you feel like it came a bit early? If it come now, I think it would probably do all right.
Because it had a mega budget.
It did, yeah. And it was never going to make it back. But I feel like if that came out now,
it's better than. I liked that. It's better than Avatar, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, what about him?
Oh, he's signed up for a new sci-fi movie.
Okay, so he's going back to live action.
Yeah, second stab at sci-fi, I guess.
Okay.
In terms of live action, it's called In the Blink of an Eye.
Cool.
Well, he's given himself quite a task according to this synopsis. In the blink of an eye, seeks to explore no less than the entire history of the world
Oh, wow. Okay.
and tackle the nature of life, love, hope, and connection by focusing on 3 intersecting storylines.
That's a tough thing to put into 90 minutes.
Stanton says the film has its touchstones and influences include 2001
Okay. One of the greatest films of all time.
and Magnolia.
They're 2 very different films.
Stanton, I didn't realise this, in sort of the last few years, has directed a lot of TV,
Okay.
including quite a few episodes of Stranger Things
Oh, okay.
and Better Call Saul.
Oh, right. Okay. Interesting.
Look, this is a
great show.
He's a great director, and it sounds like this is a hell of a project. So let's see what happens there.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep our eye on that one.
That's all the news.
Good news. Well done. Enjoyed that. There was lots of news there. Have you watched anything good at the top of the stream?
I've not watched too much because I'm trying to do some decorating at home. I'll tell you what I have watched.
How's your decorating going?
All right.
Yeah? Finished?
One bedroom's finished.
Sweet.
Just trying to
Trying to do them all at once again.
basically, yeah, do as much as I can before Christmas. That's the goal.
Go for it.
But I have watched and completed whatever season we're up to, 6 of Somebody Feed Phil on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, I have as well. I think it is season 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It just
Good always.
every time I watch an episode of Somebody Free Phil, I finish it thinking, that's really made me happy.
Yeah.
And it also really want to go to that city.
Yeah,
Wherever
100%.
it was.
The Croatia episode,
Brilliant.
I was just like, how much is a flight?
Yeah. I've been to Croatia. It's great. I didn't eat anything half as good as what he did.
Yeah, that was a particular jaw dropper for me. That episode.
Yeah, the Austin, Texas one's brilliant as well.
Yes.
And the Memphis, I thought that was really good. Was it No, Nashville.
Nashville.
Sorry.
Nashville.
I always get those 2 mixed up. that was really good as well. I didn't realise
Same
that
state.
Nashville's such a growing city right now. 100 people a day move to Nashville, according to what he said in that show.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really good. The episode about his mum and dad was a bit, do I want to say self-indulgent? I think I do.
I think you can say that because
But
obviously
I think he's
they
probably
were
earned the right to do it as well.
they were a really important part of the first few series.
Yeah.
And look, it was really noticeable when obviously his mum passed away and his dad was there on his own and then he passed away as well. But I mean, it's a great thing to be able to be in a position like to do a 35-minute tribute show to your parents. You've got all that stuff on camera and what a great memory. But yeah, I know what you mean. Because it didn't, I was expecting when this is a tribute show to his parents. Like, this is going to be emotional. But it wasn't really that tone they were going. It was just telling a few stories. Obviously, his dad telling his jokes. And it was.
I feel like they should have been sitting around a table eating food.
It felt like a DVD extra.
It did, yeah. Which it probably is. And it probably would have been had 10 years ago when the show was coming out on DVD. But I don't know. It was good. It was interesting.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't take the right to do it away from
No.
it. But it did feel a little bit self-indulgent.
Yeah.
But it's still a great show.
Yeah.
The 5 episodes in the season before that are wonderful.
Yeah, really good. When he was, I like the bit in the Croatian one where he was trying to fish for sea urchins. He just couldn't sink.
Yes.
Very funny.
Very funny.
How about you? What have you watched?
I watched quite a lot because we've not done a wave for a couple of weeks
Yeah.
now. So I had to try and remember where I was at in my TV watching on the last wave. I don't think I'd finished The Watcher.
No.
At the end of the last wave.
I've seen the trailer for it.
It's good.
I'm not sure.
It's worth watching.
Okay.
It is good. It's an entertaining show. The ending's controversial.
Right.
I won't give any reasons why, but
fine.
There's a controversial ending to the show. But it is good, and I would recommend it.
Okay, cool.
So, also, I've watched another TV show in this time. There's 6 episodes on Disney Plus of The Old Man.
You mentioned, I think that you'd watched the first one.
I finished it last night.
Did it hold up to the promise of the first episode?
It did, and I thought it was going to be a limited season, but apparently not.
Oh, really?
I hope not, because the sequel tease at the end was like, okay, I'm ready for a new series. It's really good.
Good.
Jeff
I
Bridges,
didn't realise it was only 6 episodes. So
it's only 6 episodes. Jeff Bridges and John Lithgow are both incredible in it.
Yeah.
And there's a young girl, I don't know her name, unfortunately, but there's a young girl who plays like John Lithgow's assistant.
Yeah.
She's incredible in it.
Awesome.
Really good. So yeah, it's great. Everybody in it's great, to be fair. But
brilliant.
Jeff Bridges and John Lithgow stand out. Yeah, well worth watching, and I'm pretty sure it's going to come back for a second season. I've been to the cinema.
Which one's the old man? Oh, okay. Right, okay. I won't ask anymore. I'll go and watch it.
All of them and none of them. Go and watch it. Definitely go and watch it. It's really good.
I know I like it already.
Yeah, 100%. I know you like it already. The first 2 episodes are amazing.
Good.
I went to the cinema. I went to watch Halloween Ends.
Oh, yes. I mean, I've not heard good things about this movie.
I haven't
hadn't
heard good things before I went in. And I, to be fair, being a Halloween fan, I knew I wasn't expecting a good film.
You're not expecting The Godfather?
No, I'm not expecting even a good Halloween film. I'm expecting at least to have a bit of fun with a stupid Halloween film.
Yeah.
That isn't what this is.
Right.
This film's garbage.
Okay.
Hot garbage. It's an abomination of a film.
What's wrong?
For a start, it isn't a Halloween film.
Okay.
Michael Myers is left on the sidelines for 90% of it. I think he's in it for 10 minutes.
Oh, lovely.
Which is ridiculous. This is apparently the last Halloween film.
Yeah.
We're not getting any more. It's done.
Yeah.
And you leave him on the sidelines and for 10 minutes. At one point, somebody overpowers him and takes his mask off him.
Oh, lovely.
What?
Why is this just done that 11 films ago?
That is the closest I've been to ever walking out of a cinema. Because I was like, the only reason I stayed is because I wanted to know how this was going to end.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so bad. It was horrendous.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's a scathing.
I give it 2 stars out of 10. Why
2 and not 1?
I'm not that harsh. Still got Michael Myers in it. Still got Jamie Lee Curtis in it. When these films were originally announced, I read an interview with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
And she said she was done with the Halloween franchise at that point.
Yes.
And she was never going to come back unless the scripts were perfect.
These are written by Danny McBride, aren't they?
He's involved.
Yeah.
He's in the writing room for definite. And then she's made this. And it's really, I've really kind of lost my respect for her a little bit because that script's not perfect. It's far from perfect.
Yeah.
The first one's great. The first, Halloween in 2018, the first one of the 3 is great. But those other 2 are not. And
yeah, because I guess the second one you can kind of give a bit of... Because you go, well, I've got to see, let's see if it ties up here.
Yeah, the second one's at least fun and you can have a laugh with it. But this one, there's nothing. There's nothing there. And it's,
So it's not even like a subversive, we're breaking the genre type, it's just flat. It's totally nothing.
Yeah, and why would you do that?
Well, no, I'm not saying
Halloween film that you're ever
going
to make. You just do what the fans want, surely.
Yeah. Wow.
It seems obvious. And every rule that they set up in the previous 2, I just ignore. Oh,
sounds like the Star Wars problem.
I was fuming when I left the cinema, and I'm getting angry again.
Except these are written by these are the same people who've been on board
for all 3 of them.
For these, so that you shouldn't have those problems.
No, but you set up some rules. You surely know where you're going with the 3rd film, and then just abandon all your rules. Stupid. Anyway, moving on. That's pretty much all I've watched.
Okay.
I have been playing a game.
Oh, nice.
We've not done game chat for ages. I don't talk about games very often. I don't play a lot of games, but this one's really struck a chord with me this week. It's new. It's only just come out. It's on Game Pass as well. It's called Phantom Abyss.
Okay.
So the premise is that you are almost like a Tomb Raider. So you're going into these tombs to
raid them.
And there's a relic in each tomb that you've got to get. Right, but there's a gimmick here.
Yeah.
The tombs are procedurally generated, and if you die, you are never going back to that tomb.
Ooh.
But if you get the relic, nobody else is ever going back to that tomb.
Ooh.
So if you
That's a nice little twist.
So if you complete that level, you're the only person in the world that ever will.
Cool.
How cool is that?
Yeah, that is cool.
It's just really, really cool.
That's a really neat little twist.
But the other gimmick is that you can see, while you're in the tomb, what everybody else who's attempted to do has done.
Oh, so if they've got so far and died...
You see where they
died.
died.
So if there's a trap that's already been triggered...
You see where that's trapped and you can avoid it.
Wow, that is cool.
So it says at the beginning there's 3,660 souls on this level.
Yeah.
And when it starts, there's loads of people all around you and they all rush off in the same direction.
Yeah.
But you can see where they go and where they don't go and where they die. So in theory, it should get easier the more people play it. But I thought that hook of like, if I complete this level, I'm the only person in the world who's ever going to.
Have you done it yet?
1.
Awesome.
And it's the most satisfying thing. Because you get into at the end of the level, you have to open the door and you have to light up 2 fires to get this door open.
Yeah.
And you open the door and you can see the relic in front of you. It's pretty simple to get to. But there was still 1 soul in there with me.
Okay.
And then he just ran onto a spike. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to go that way. I'll go this way. And I picked the relic up, and I'm like, I can't believe I've just done that. It was the most satisfying thing.
That's great. You've really sold me on that. That sounds awesome.
I'll show you when we finished if you want. Yeah, it is really great. But I really like that hook of if you finish it, you're the only person who's ever going to.
That's
but if you die, you never get to try it again.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was
How many
really
times you
cool.
died?
1 million. Because also sometimes you'll get quite close, and then you'll just die. You're like,
is that if someone else gets there?
No, well, yeah. If somebody else gets there, the level ends anyway.
It just chucks you out.
But if you die in a trap or something, you're like, shit, I was so close, and now I can never play that one again. And then it would just generate me another one next time. Yeah. It's really clever.
That's cool. That's a cool hook.
Yeah, it is. I really thought so. And you get like different whips and different skins and stuff, but no. It's only just come out, so it is on Game Pass, so it's free if you've got Game Pass. But I would definitely recommend trying it.
Good.
That's it. That's all I've been up to in the last couple of weeks or so.
I like it.
Shall we do a real talk?
Yeah, let's do.
We set this real talk out a long time ago. And to be fair, I think we've only had answers in the Discord. So do you want to go through the Discord and see what we've got?
Yeah, the real talk that we set quite a while ago now.
Yeah, it was like 2.5 weeks ago.
Which movie deserves a sequel but has not had one? That's a pretty ripe area for discussion.
It is, yeah, and it was. And it's quite a tough question as well, I think. Because you think of a film and then you think, oh, that did actually have one.
Yeah.
So you can't have that now.
Look, as we said last week, even R.I.P.D. has got a sequel. Yeah. So that's my answer out straight away.
People don't tend to know, but Titanic's even got a sequel. Sci-Fi made Titanic 2. I think, did we watch that at one point? I think we did.
Possibly did.
Yeah,
was it like Space Titanic?
No, I think it was like...
It was like a catamaran or something.
It was somebody had recreated it 100 years later.
Yeah, something like
the
that.
exact copy of the boat, and then it crashed in the same spot.
Oh, yeah.
What we got in the... It was terrible. What have we got in the Discord?
Okay, so we'll kick off with Sam Mulholland in our Discord, who's got a couple of suggestions, which are both very good suggestions. So I'm not going to have a go at him for not choosing one answer.
That's fine.
And one of them might be ruled out on a technicality, as we'll soon find out. But
okay.
His first suggestion is Dredd, the 2012 Dredd. So that's the Carl Urban one.
Good film.
Which is a great movie. I remember we went to the cinema and watched it, and it was right in the middle of the 3D fad.
Yes.
I came out thinking that was so fucking simple. And so, I mean, it was a total rip-off of The Raid.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
It's just, it's just Dredd trying to get through various levels of the skyscraper. But it was so good.
It was. Really good film. Highly recommend that film. I've only seen it that one time, I think. Maybe I need to watch it.
I think I have as well. I remember thinking it was great. 100% agree. I'd love to have seen a sequel to that. Sam's other suggestion is District 9, although he's then sort of cancelling himself out by saying he thinks a sequel is happening.
Okay. Funnily enough,
good movie.
I've had the same issue. I picked one and then found out a sequel was happening.
Well, it's not released yet, so I'll let him have it.
Okay, cool.
So, Ross Cook has got a couple. The Nightmare Before Christmas. I loved that movie as a kid, and I really wanted to see what was behind the other holiday doors.
It's quite remarkable that's never happened.
Because obviously, I spoke a few weeks ago. I was at Disneyland Paris.
Yeah,
and I know we were around Halloween because like we were there as the last couple of days we were there. All the Halloween stuff was coming out.
Yeah,
and the street decorations and the parades and stuff were changing and stuff like that. But the amount of Jack Skellington merchandise,
even now, like what, over 20 years later,
is insane.
Yeah,
and you see it even in like TK Maxx and
it's everywhere.
Primark, all the places that do Disney stuff, and it always has been.
Yeah,
and I've thought several times of all, you get like the Little Mermaid 5, Ariel's Revenge.
Yeah,
how have we never had
Ariel's Revenge?
How have we never had A Nightmare Before Easter?
Yeah,
or
The Nightmare Before St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, exactly.
I suppose, but maybe because they're too difficult to make.
And we do what we do know,
Yeah,
lifting the curtain a bit is that Tim Burton and Henry Selick, not a good relationship.
No, Tim Burton.
Whether there's stuff there that's preventing.
Tim Burton this week has said he'll never work for Disney again.
Yeah.
So
is he going to give a couple of his houses back that they paid for then?
I mean, everybody knows Disney's a raw shithole, but yeah, I don't know. It's never going to happen, but it would be nice if it could.
Yeah,
It feels like those doors were put there to make it happen at some point.
Sure,
You feel like somebody had the idea that it was going to.
If you want more info on like the whole sort of behind the scenes wrangling of that movie, definitely check out the Movers That Made Us episode of that.
On Netflix. That is really good.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
It's probably the best one of those.
It's got a great story behind it.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah. Chris from the Time Splitters podcast.
Love Chris. What a great guy.
Sort of says sequels are difficult.
Yeah.
You know, he's not wrong. You know, how there aren't many sequels you can genuinely say are worthy. Are they? What are they adding? You know,
yes, good point.
He brings up Aliens was one that did work, but only because it was completely different to the first one.
Yeah,
which is true.
That is true.
And he's also got a couple of suggestions, and unbelievably, one of his suggestions that for movies he would like to have seen a sequel to is John Carter of Mars.
How weird.
I'd have liked to have seen that world revisited, he says.
That's a fair comment. Me too.
And then he also says the 90s Phantom movie starring Billy Zane.
Wow. Who's Billy Zane?
Yeah.
Which one's that?
Who even knows? So that's his choice.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I have years and years ago.
I don't think
I more remember Phantom from like the Defenders of the Earth cartoon series.
Yeah.
Alex in the Discord says, I would love to see an Almost Famous sequel. I know it was semi-autobiographical for Cameron Crowe, but I would love to see some of those characters again.
Well, they could call it Now We're Famous.
Yeah. It's true. Look, I think film. You could do loads with that. That's a good shout. It's a good shout. Okay, what else we got in here? I had a couple of... These aren't my choices.
Okay.
But
you went with a few.
I put a couple of suggestions in to help with the debate. So, the Goonies, but there's a caveat.
Okay.
We can't do it unless we get a time machine, because I don't want a grown-up Goonies.
You don't want a 35 years.
No, I want to go back to 2 years after the Goonies, and let's have a sequel. Then, when they were still
I
young.
agree. Nobody wants to see an adult Goonies. No.
But it's been mooted.
Yeah, it has been. It's always been talked about. But it's quite baffling that it never happened. Like a couple of years after the Goonies came out. It's one of the biggest family films of all time. Yeah. And they never went... That universe, you could have done so much with that.
Sure.
What a great film.
Yeah. But we haven't got a time machine, so that's not...
No, unfortunately not.
And then the other one I suggested, literally just on title alone.
Okay.
It's Ratatouille 2.
Oh, Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm up for that.
I've got no ideas for the story. I just like putting a 2 in the middle of it.
Can he help a different profession rather than a chef?
Maybe,
do something else?
Yeah.
He's like, give up on chefing and now he's going to be a road sweeper or something?
Yeah.
Policeman?
Or they have to reverse it and the guy has to sit on the rat's head and help him cook. Invert it.
I'm up for it. Let's just do it.
It's why I don't work for Pixar. That's pretty much it, I think. In the because the sequel Real Talk then got slightly derailed by the actual news that they're working on a Twister sequel.
Yes, they are.
Which no one suggested.
Nobody suggested. Nobody in the world has ever suggested, I don't think. But it is happening, apparently.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, whatever. So that leaves us.
Cool. Do you want me to go or do you want to go?
I don't know. I'll go if you want.
Go for it.
So the sequel, I'm quite specific.
Okay.
Because the sequel I'm going to suggest that's never happened is an actual script that exists.
Right, okay.
So I'm not just saying this film needs a sequel because I like the first film. Because I actually didn't really like the first film. I think it's overrated.
Oh, right.
But
so you want a sequel to a film you don't like?
Yes.
Okay.
That film is Gladiator.
Okay. Oh, yes, of course. Everybody knows about the Gladiator 2 script.
Yeah. And Nick Cave wrote a sequel to Gladiator.
He did, yeah.
So obviously, at the end of Gladiator, Maximus dies.
Yep.
Goes off to the afterlife.
Yeah.
There is a script for Gladiator 2. A lot of people might know this, but I'll just go through it in case you don't. In which he is sent back to Earth by the Roman gods.
Yeah.
to fight in a string of wars and battles through the rest of history. So he basically gets sent back to Earth to fight in the Crimean War, World War One, World War Two, and it's just Maximus going through time, fucking taking names and smashing people.
It pains me that film doesn't exist.
It's just a brilliant idea.
It's such a
Again,
great
totally
idea.
different to the first one.
Yeah.
Just balls out action, smashing people up.
Yeah, let's just do it.
Zoom in through time.
Why
It'd
has
be
that never
brilliant.
happened? Like
Yeah,
cross
absolutely
between
brilliant.
Gladiator
Probably
and Bill
because
and
Ridley
Ted.
Scott's quite stuck up his
Yeah.
own backside. His films aren't fun, are they?
No,
Let's be honest.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's a great shout. Good idea.
Brilliant. It would be amazing.
It really would.
It's never going to happen. It would be amazing.
It would be amazing.
That's my pick.
When this question was posed, one film shot into my head straight away.
Okay.
But then I did some research and I've had to discount it.
Oh, no.
Because the film I thought of was Labyrinth.
Yeah.
I would love a sequel to Labyrinth.
Again, a world you would think that you could
easily
expand and, yeah.
A director was attached to Labyrinth 2 in May of this year.
Oh, so it's actually in the
So
works.
it's actually in the works. It's being worked on as we speak.
But it doesn't exist yet.
It doesn't exist yet, so
Half a mark.
half a point for whatever the scoring system is for real talk. But then I thought, why has there never been a sequel to E.T.?
Right, so I think there may have been a script.
Okay.
I'm just going to check while we're talking because I feel like I've heard there was something and then it was deemed it's not good enough.
But
And it was about E.T. having to save E.T.'s planet. I'm sure there was something.
But why has it never happened? In
I don't
any
know.
form. There's like E.T. is one of the biggest films of the 80s. Probably the biggest film of the 80s. And yet they just left it alone. And
Yeah.
you feel like it could be a massive franchise. Even now, with Disney Plus are remaking everything.
That's true.
And they're doing sequels and TV shows for everything. But nobody seems to be touting anything to do with this little alien thing.
So E.T. 2 Nocturnal Fears is a script that it never got past the script stage. Written by Steven Spielberg and Melissa Matheson. You can read
the whole script
online.
Sweet.
But yeah, it doesn't exist as a movie, clearly.
But it should. Wow. The whole script's there on your phone right now.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll just make it. We'll just take that script and make the film. But in some form or another, I feel like an E.T. film, an E.T. 2 is begging to be out there.
Yeah.
And there's always been. It's like pop culture icon.
I think you're right.
They've never done anything with it.
As an untapped
Potential. An untapped market
property.
that Disney just seem to leave alone.
Yeah.
When they're making sequels to things like The
But it's
Mighty
not Disney,
Ducks.
though, is it? Is it?
No, I don't know.
think
But
so.
it could be.
Right.
No, it's not, is it? It's DreamWorks, wasn't it? I can't remember anyway. But you feel like Disney could easily get hold of it and do it. But anyway, that's my answer. Labyrinth and E.T.
Yeah. No, it's a good shout. Good shout.
Thanks. But apparently, yeah, Labyrinth 2 is coming at some point.
Right.
I don't know where or anything, but it was given a director in May.
Do you think something like Stranger Things is bit responsible for the interest in that? Because both
Possibly.
E.T. and Labyrinth feel like there's
an 80s
Stranger Things has a lot of its
There's an 80s revival going on.
DNA from both of those films.
Yeah,
I would
definitely.
say.
Yeah. Well, The Dark Crystal came back onto Netflix, didn't it? A
It
little
did.
bit?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
Good.
they're my answers.
Good real talk.
Thanks. Enjoyed it. The next week we're not going to do a real talk because we're going to do the recap of this season.
Yeah, so
instead.
we'll do the news, but we'll have real talk. Can have a week off. We'll recap the final stream table from season 7.
So if you want to let us know what you think of the final stream table for season 7 when it is published on Thursday, because obviously there's still one more film to go into it.
Yep.
And then we'll just talk about that instead.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That can be the real talk. So I think we're
Excellent.
done. Do you want to talk a little bit about the film that we're going to talk about this Thursday?
Yeah, we are going to wrap up season 7 by talking about Rainbow Time.
Rainbow Time, our Halloween movie.
Our traditional Halloween special.
Yeah.
This is a comedy drama
Yeah, I don't even know if I'd call it comedy. There's
about... I definitely laughed out loud a couple of times when
Yeah.
I was supposed to.
Okay.
So, but I think, calling it a comedy...
The
drama
first half,
comedy.
the dramedy. It's a dramedy. The first half's more funny than the second half. But
Family drama, yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know what I'd call it. I really don't. I still don't really know what I thought about it, so I'm going to decide that as we talk about it on Thursday.
This is, by way of a tease, if you're into this sort of thing, is from the Duplass brothers.
It is. It's their studio. One of them's in it as well.
Yes, and probably the movie that is most successful out of their production company is Safety Not Guaranteed.
Yes.
Which is a brilliant movie.
It really is.
It
really is. Don't expect this to be on that sort of level, but
it's not about time travel, so you would automatically mark it down. So
yeah, 100% I would. And it's a comedy.
And I think, look, it's an interesting season finale.
Yeah,
and
I'm looking forward to talking about it.
Me too.
I still don't know what I thought about it, so we'll decide that as we go on Thursday.
There you go. There's a tease.
Right, let's get out of here, shall we?
Yeah, come back Thursday and listen to us talk about Rainbow Time as we wrap up season 7.
Season 7 finale.
Yeah.
175th film of Bottom of the Stream.
Awesome.
Cool.
We'll see you then.
Cheers.
Bye.